we created our main mix where we decided to have as a potential or a valuable inputs the 3 consoles that we patched so far. So why not pretending that my microphone is one of the announcement microphone, right? Well, that microphone should be available there as a source as well. So if you want to feed the PA with my voice, just double click, select the flex channels, get the Lucas headset, right click, label from source. If I want to send that to the main left and right, whenever the left and right will be available, I put it at 0 dB. Do I want to send my voice to the subwoofer? No. What about the fills? Why not? It's a presenter, so why not the fill? So there's no need to send my voice towards the subwoofer. The high pass filter will be cutting out anything anyway, so there's no need to send that towards. So the structure of the Matrix 16x4 or 8x8 is clear now to you. All the 4 summing buses, they share the same common inputs, but the level and the panning is independent for each summing output. It's really a normal mixer. Nothing more, not more. Why we call that MatMix? Because depending upon how you want to use it, it's a matrix, but it's a mixer by the time that you are sending something not at 0 dB. So it's not a mixer, it's not a matrix, it's both. That's the reason why we call it MatMix. And we found that nickname, MatMix. Works. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we have to decide how to handle the several feeds of the output DSP channels to feed our PA system. Here we have a bunch of options. We still have plenty of output flex channels. We could use some of those, not a problem. But you know what? You never know, during a festival you have further input, maybe last minute you are requested to record everything with ambient microphone. Since you have the microphone preamplifier, you are in front of us position, connect a bunch of ambient microphone, create a different stem, maybe a 5.1 for the records or whatever. So I would not use the remaining flex channels for the PA system feeds when I can have plenty of fully fledged output DSP channels in a very convenient manner, having 8 different sources and 8 independent output. So why I don't use this matrix, the first matrix of the 8x8, I go to the DSP setting. This is just one option, and guys, then you will do whatever you want. I call it Main PA, and I want to have 2 stereos and 4 monos. 2 stereo, why? Outfill, main left and right, outfill left and right, different things, so stereo, does make sense. Then I want to have Frontfills, and then I want to have other things, mono. So for sure, I just need the 2 pairs stereo. In this case, although the feed is the same, I need individual tuning tools for array left, array right, outfill left, outfill right. So I need to have different output channels, to have different FIR filters, different EQs, different IIR filter if I need to use an all-pass filter, right? So let's start with the main PA. And why not using another main matrix 8x8 for my subs? So I can simulate 1 sub feeds or 8, doesn't matter, I have 8 outputs. So I'm just going to use that for 8 monos for the subs. And I'm going to use another one for the delays. So I can have up to 8 different feeds for the delays if I want. So I have 3. So 3x8 is a 24 different feeds for any dimension of PA. If I need to keep going on, guess what? Keep going on. This one, this one, this one. But I don't have to recreate the main mix for everyone because I have already the left, right, subs and fills done. So the input sources of those matrices will be the pre-mixed from the other matrix because you can. So let's name this array. Dash left, dash right is automatically added. Then this one is another stereo. This is outfill. Or we have infills, more than outfills here. We have the infills. That doesn't change a thing. And then we have the front fill, which is down here. So it's a mono front fill, frill. And then
with the latency change in that path, so when you put it out of the rack, the latency, you go through flash down through.
you want to have another plus, don't you? Now, it is changing, but it's negligible. It's one sample. It's just a routing patch inside. So when you are tuning a PA system, one sample is not making any difference. One sample could be a disaster if you are summing two channels which must be in phase. But when you are delaying the system, you are compensating for any difference when you are calculating the final delay anyway. So one sample is not changing your life. But I like the way you are thinking. I really like that because you have an idea of what you are doing. So it depends. One sample can be a disaster or can be absolutely negligible. It depends. One thing is sure, the Prodigy MP is not making any automatic compensation for that. So if you want to compensate, you have to do it yourself. And you have the tools to do that, where you have delay plugins, or inside of the flex channel, you have the timing where you can add up to 512. So from 0 to 512 samples of delay. So it's a small time adjust, right? One sample per step. So if you go from one input to an output, the additional path from one input to an output is one sample, is one clock cycle, right? So negligible. You cannot even measure that. On top of that, when you are doing the smart calibration or whatever, everything is compensated by the fact. So you really calculate which is the delay that is needed to keep all the things aligned. So if you are going through one matrix, two matrix, three matrix, by the time that you are calculating the final delay, that will be completely compensated. So no problem at all. And in any case, you will never have a sharp measurement which is adjusting on a sample. It's impossible. So it's really, really negligible in this case. But as I said, I like your question. So I was here. So infill left and right, front fills. Then I have the other two guys down there, which I'm using as a solo monitor. So I will wait, but they could be my delays. Then I have the subwoofer. So this is going to be sub number 1, and I can keep going on with forever, with sub 2, sub 3, whatever. Let's do it. But sub C, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have different lines of subwoofer. And then I have the delays, same story, delay. So if I'm sharp enough, I can add the number later on. So I just have to delay 2, delay 3, delay 4, delay 5, delay 6, delay 7, delay 8. There you go. So now, what are the sources that I need to send here in order to feed my array left and right infills and front fills? Double click, pick up the Matrix System Master, main, pick up the Matrix System Master right, pick up the fields for the fields, and you're good to go. You don't need anything else because the subwoofer is not part of this picture. So shift click, drag, right click, label from sources. There you go. So now, what I want to send to array left and right, guess. Main, left and right at 0 dB, totally left, totally right. Okay, what I want to send to the infills. Maybe I like the idea to send an inverse panning just to create a little bit of stereo image with the infill. So why not reversing that? I know someone hates it. I know someone love it, especially with the outfill. Usually I do reverse panning there because I have a little bit of stereo image and I have less phasing in the cross area, but I don't want to teach you how to PA system because it's not my job, it's your job. So you have all the tools you want to do. Maybe you don't want to have a complete stereo panorama or something like that, so maybe a little bit less. It's up to you. It's absolutely up to you. The infill is going to be reversed stereo. The front fill, I have a specific front fill field, which is already created and calculated. If a console is giving me a specific channel, that would be the channel. If the console is not giving me the specific channel, it's just a summing bus of -6 of the mono left and right. At this point, I don't have to think about that. Fine. Then, We created the summing bus, but then we need individual tuning. So we want to put an FIR filter here, an FIR filter here, an FIR filter here. So right click, because we need individual tuning possibility. And definitely we want to have a delay in the second position. Probably we don't need any all-pass filter, because probably I'm going to put the all-pass filter on the sub. You never know. Maybe you need the all-pass filter on the main. You will see. In case you have to move an existing plugin that you decided to put in the second position. Why second position? Because this is an output channel, remember? So remember, the signal comes from the bottom, goes through the fader to the first plugin. The second plugin is my microphone booming a little bit. Okay, better. So I was playing here. So if I need to move this from the second position to the third position, I right click and I say move to the third position in case I need to put the filter, the IIR filter here. So they have the possibility to have the all pass filter. Let's simulate that. So I'm moving the insert in the third position and I'm putting another IIR filter. What's the difference between the FIR filter and IIR filter? The FIR filter is lake style. So you have virtually infinite number of filters contribution, because in the end, it's just the overall calculation of which is the shape of the transfer function, right? So add a filter, you want to have a low shelf, followed by a symmetric EQ, followed by another symmetric EQ, followed by another symmetric EQ, followed by another symmetric EQ, or followed by an asymmetric EQ, followed by an I shelf filters. And then if it's not up enough, you can get the tilt and then play with that, and then you're very happy with that. And then you can calculate the custom filter, which at least for one speaker we will do it together, having the smart integration, because that's really cool and working great. And then when you lost a couple of hours and you say, you know what, clear the layer. I liked it more flat, and that's what frequently happens when you start doing things without any idea what you're doing. That comes from my experience, at least. Okay. So where you are convincing that, oh, let's add another filter, and then you think, okay, let's listen to the system bypassed, and it's sounding better, then you say, now how can I justify my fact that I spent 3 hours and it's sounding better? Well, that's a problem, but it's okay. So we're good now. So are we ready now to connect the main array or whatever to the speakers? Yes, we could do that. It's a good idea not to feed too much. So let's fade out the contribution of the U2, and this is only my voice. See, now it's only my voice going there. So it's a good idea to go back to the flex channel, and for the time being, get rid of my voice from the PA system, or leave my voice to the PA system, because actually at the moment we are using my left and right for my voice, but it's going direct, remember? So now if you want to repatch that, I would lose my voice if I would take off from the main matrix. So it shouldn't be a big problem to leave my voice as it is now. Maybe we started a bit more conservative. We get to the routing page, we get to the output slot, and now we want to change how we are feeding the left and right. Not any longer from the Luca HS headset, but from the MatMix 8x8, we have the array left, A, array right. The sub is not yet ready. The fill is ready, and the infills left and right is ready. There you go. So if I now go back to my DSP and I increase my voice, I should have my voice getting from the PA system again. There you go. Fine. But if I'm fading in the U2, I should have the U2. Then let's put parts on more or less at the same level, and the yes at the same level. Let's crossfade this. Wow. Okay.